What animated film traumatized you as a child? I sincerely believe Brave Little Toaster created a lot of hoarders. Fox and the Hound. The black smoke from Fern Gully always scared me. Tim Curry is a master. Only half animated, but the scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit where Christopher Lloyd gets run over by the steamroller. Edit. Whoa. Thanks for the love, everyone. And don't forget the cute animated shoe getting melted face first in acid. The Secret of Nim. Pinocchio. The sheer chaos of that mess got to me. Then boys turned into donkeys and sobbed for their mother and I lost it. That and Dumbo. Early Disney was dark. We're back. Notably Professor Screw-Eye in the Circus. The first time I realized children could die was from the scene in Balto where coffins are being built for the children who will die if the sled dogs don't bring the medicine in time. The Great Mouse Detective. The bat gave me nightmares for a solid week. James and the Giant Peach. The Land Before Time. Littlefoot's mom dying has instilled a fear in me. A fear born of the fact that one day, someday, my own mom will die. Jan Svank Major's Alice. Which is a dark, surrealist stop-motion version of Alice in Wonderland and really not a children's movie at all. Still, local TV channel decided to air it as that. So I watched that all alone on a Sunday morning and I've never fully recovered. A movie called 9. I saw it in theaters when I was 9 years old and I still have nightmares about it to this day. All Dogs Go to Heaven. Watched it as an adult. That movie was dark. Watership Down. AWW. Look at the talking bunnies. How cute. Last Unicorn. The damn harpy. We watched The Lion King in the second week of kindergarten. The week my dad died. When Woody fell into the trash of broken toys and got dragged down. Not a film, but Courage the Cowardly Dog had a lot of moments. A lot of moments. Coraline. I was heartbroken by the dog pound scenes in Lady and the Tramp. Refused to watch it. Fast forward to my little nephew, who was crying for days because he thought that the cats and the Aristocats wouldn't ever get back home. Monster House. Oh look. There's a uvula. Oh, so it's a girl house. Spirited Away. The parents turning into pigs and no face gave me nightmares for weeks. I was 5 when I first saw it. Nowadays it's one of my favorite movies though. The Iron Giant. This claymation show about Mark Twain and some kids. Can't remember what it was called. Didn't traumatize me. But I knew it was special. Also The Brave Little Toaster. Edit. I had no idea so many people have seen this. To this day it feels like it escaped on accident, yet somehow my parents obtained a copy that isn't supposed to exist. Lol. LOTR 1978 cartoon. Why is Aragorn not wearing any pants? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. All good and happy until the child catcher shows up. Alice in Wonderland when the walrus ate the baby clams. The whole movie was weird. Bambi's mom dying. Dumbo getting made fun of and being taken away from his mom. Heffalumps and woozles on Winnie the Pooh and Disney's Halloween Treat. Which I really did like. Oh, and the lion. Spirited Away. No Face scared the out of me. The Rescuers. Yes. I'm that old. Kidnapped little girl guarded by a crocodile. And a horrific looking old lady villain. Grave of the Fireflies. My god. Also one of the best movies I have ever seen. Treasure Planet when a character fell into the black hole. My brother was a huge astronomy nerd, still is, and explained that black holes tear you apart by the atoms. And that if a black hole appeared near our galaxy or whatever, we would be done. Watership Down. That suffocation scene should never be viewed by any child. The Pudgy Master. I was 4 and I still think about it. Disney's Black Cauldron. How the hell was that a kids movie? The puppet scene in the Polar Express. In The Little Mermaid, Ursula has a collection of souls that she stole and tortures. Little Nemo. I've mostly blocked it from my mind now, but I have vague memories of a kid fleeing a shapeless black ooze as it consumes his home. This being after he released it. Somehow, I've thought about rewatching it as an adult to see how it holds up. Edit. I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who experienced this particular trauma. Thanks y'all for sharing. Also, I have apparently forgotten a lot of this movie cause y'all are referencing stuff that I do not remember one bit. I'm seriously considering giving it a watch soon now. There was this Care Bears cartoon movie with a young boy who was a magician. The Elephants on Parade segment from Dumbo. It's like a bad acid trip and my 6-year-old self was terrified of it. Bambi. They killed the mother. And they expect kids not to burst out in tears. The music video for Pink Floyd, The Wall. The first time I saw animation used in a dark context. Pinocchio. The donkey scene. The Coachman. Stormberry. And Monstro all gave me nightmares for days. One of Disney's darkest movies hands down. Fringully and Fantasia, either one. It's all fun and games until snarky pollution blob Tim Curry turns into off nightmare tar skeleton Tim Curry. Goddamn. The Brave Little Toaster. It's like Toy Story if they focused on the brutal reality of disposable objects rather than light-hearted silly fun. Animal Farm gives me nightmares to this day. Little Nemo. Adventures in Slumberland. Dumbo. Mums aren't supposed to be taken away. Mickey's Christmas Carol circa 1983. The Ghost of Christmas Future. And falling into a grave filled with fire. Dark Crystal. Mid-40s female and I still can't watch it to this day. Can't get more than 10 minutes in and I've tried many times. Those damn Muppets. Added. To the person who said it wasn't animated. It was animatronics. Which is weighing worse. Thanks for the upvotes. You helped me reach over 60k in karma. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Judge Doom taking that poor little shoe and putting him in the dip. As a child this upset and as an adult it still upsets me. Disney's Snow White. The Huntsman's murder face. The Freaky Forest. The Queen to Hag transformation scene. The Great Mouse Detective. The bad guy, Ratigan or something, straight up cartel executes a mouse using a cat. I found it horrifying. Fantasia. Movie was like a horror film to my young eyes. Spirited Away. My dad brought it home when I was around 7. Thinking it was a fairy tale. Also yes. Dumbo. Oh. What? You mean you didn't enjoy Pink Elephants on Parade? What are you? Some kind of normal person who doesn't like being awoken by elephant-centric nightmares for the better part of a week? There was a nightmare sequence in a Winnie the Pooh about heffalumps and woozles that freaked me out when I was small. Be sure and tell Large Marge sent ya. Not a film. But Gumby freaked me out. Not as a child. But as an adult. My wife and I saw up about 2 weeks after we got married. The beginning got us bad. What a great way to start off a relationship by being reminded that one of you will die leaving the other behind in this cruel world. Plague Dogs. James and the Giant Peach was nightmare fuel. It's still pretty disturbing to me today. It's honestly beyond me why that was ever marketed as a kids movie. Also Spirited Away. The Rescuers. The Land Before Time. My mum rented it for me and it scared the out of me for some reason. Haven't seen it since. Rockadaddle. The whole thing is terrifying. The owls. The storm. The kid being turned into a cat. The Rats of Nim. The Secret of Nim. The Triplets of Belleville. The animation. The part with the hamster wheel. The no voices. Little me was freaked out. Very cool movie though. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Caused me plenty nightmares. Rikki Tikki Tavi. I just remember being afraid of the snakes and the vibe of the film. Yellow Submarine. Scared the living out of me. It's like a bad psychedelic fever dream. Those I'm blue meanies, man. A troll in Central Park always made depressed for weeks after watching it. Basically a thread of Disney movies. My choice. Those creepy little dudes in Ursula's Place. Yes. Those poor, unfortunate souls. Watership Down. Princess Mononoke. A Koto turning into a demon haunts my dreams still. Toy Story. That scene when the toys do a head transplant. Chicken Run freaked me out so badly. I've always hated claymation films. 9. That movie is still my favorite animated film, but the thought of AI one day rendering humans useless and killing all of them scared my undeveloped brain. I recently watched it again and realized how dark it was. The humans in the film had to create a machine that would suck their own soul and put it into a ragdoll just so they could survive. Even though at the end, Nine and his friends survived. There was no one else, it was just them in a dark and lonely war-torn earth. All there was just ruined buildings. Machines that could rip you apart and poisonous gas that still lingered on. Makes you wonder why humans want to create a super smart AI. For me, it wasn't any particular movie, but it was in most, if not all, the Disney movies we had on DVD. That godforsaken THX logo is why I hadn't watched The Emperor's New Groove since only like a year or two ago. Speaking of which, I have this memory of watching Disney Channel and Toy Story 2 came on, with the THX logo showing up first. Is this an error? Did all airings of Toy Story 2 have this? Heavy Metal. But then I got older and watched it while stoned, and thought it was pretty cool. Age 5. Daddy. Why are the bunnies bleeding? Age now. Wanna see my watership down to 2? Transformers the movie. When I was probably 6 or 7, the local video store misplaced a hentai movie in the kids animated section. The cover looked cool because there were like guns and tanks or some on it. My mom didn't check that it was okay, so we just rented. I got it home and man, oh man, was I so scared I was going to get in trouble. I told my mom and she just took it away. I was super upset for a while about it. My family is very religious, so naturally I thought God hated me for a solid month. Needless to say, I am now a full-fledged pervert. Thanks family video. Almost all the Don Bluth films. Absolutely love them. Still do. But they were scary as F to me as a kid. Don Bluth was a genius who knew you could treat children with respect and you could trust them to be able to understand difficult concepts. You wouldn't see that level of professional excellence until a decade later in 1992 with Batman, the animated series. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Ejected it when they started throwing fruits and hid it behind a bookcase to never be seen again, lol. I did eventually watch and love it as a teenager when I got really into musicals. Anastasia. Anastasia is the dark voodoo hex magic that Princess and the Frog tried to do. And it hit me right at that starting to read Dragon's Magic age. 10/10 would recommend at a 10-year-old's Halloween party. Semicolon. Edit. This is not a Disney movie. It's not a Disney movie. It's directed by Don Bluth, an animator and director who left Disney in the late 70s because he disagreed with how the company was run and wanted to revive that sense of quality of Disney's earlier classics. He basically went head to head with them in the 1980s, and you could argue he came out on top until Disney's The Little Mermaid. His other movies include The Secret of NIMH, An American Tale, The Land Before Time, and All Dogs Go to Heaven. James and the Giant Peach. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I was 4 and we sat in the front row. The part where they dip the boot into the vat of cartoon color. I completely lost it. One of my earliest memories, come to think of it.